Good morning, friends. Well, Melanie and I were talking about the fact that tomorrow, right, is July 4th, and how sometimes we're sabotaged by trying to be kind to people. Um, especially if they've made like a special dish or special dessert, and we're trying to, we kind of have our own plan, but we also don't want to hurt people's feelings by not taking that thing, whatever that thing is. So, kind of how to make peace about that in our own minds. And I was saying that Lisa Turkhurst again talks about that, where no, just was it her? Yeah, that we need to
Yeah.
just instead of like trying to figure everything out, like just pray in the moment. Like God, I'm trying not to eat that thing, and He'll give us a way out of the temptation a lot of times. And sometimes there are funny ways, but we'll get into that another day. Um, but for tomorrow, like for me, I always feel like I just want to try everything just to at least give the cook, thank you. I appreciate that. It tastes really good. Da, 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 da. But we don't have to take a lot of it to do that. We can take smaller portions. For me, it's the chips. And I don't need to take chips because nobody made those chips. So for me, that would be like I crushed it. I didn't eat the chips.
Mhm.
And we don't need to take a piece of cake that's made for 5 people, but sometimes we're handed that. So, but God again gave me a way out of that. So without hurting the person's feelings. So I think it's important to, I don't know. Anyway, maybe to me the most important thing would be not to hurt somebody's feelings.
Right.
And then the food is secondary. And how do we do that? And
And
so,
again, but God knows your heart. So I think if we
right.
do keep that in our mind, that He is going to give us an out. My
Hmm.
reason behind it is not that I'm being selfish or I want to be hurtful. It's the opposite. But at the same time, I want to be true to all the work that I'm doing to make healthier choices.
Right.
So, yeah, I think a lot of times, if we can get away with it, if somebody does hand us like a huge piece of cake, for example, a lot of times we can share it. The other thing Deb and I talked about is, you can leave crumbs on your plate, and maybe there's a few more crumbs than you would normally leave. You kind of make it look like maybe you've had a little bit more of it than you have. It is hard because we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. And you know what? Quite honestly, sometimes it's something that we really really want. It's not about hurting the host's feelings. So just not overthinking it and trying to come up with every scenario, because we're not going to, and we'll make ourselves nuts, but going with a plan.
Hmm.
If you know that X number of different foods are going to be there, what are some choices that you can make? If they have a veggie dip, have more of that. If you're really not sure, you can always have a salad before you go, or something that will give you some nutrition before you go, and then you're not as tempted. I've done that
Hmm.
already too. So, I mean, there are ways around it.
There are. So let us know some of your ways, maybe where you've run into the same thing.
Mhm.
Or like Melanie said, maybe it's something we do want, but we've tried to, it's not in our plan, but there it is right in front of us. Like, how do we do that? Do we have a little bit of it? Do we pass it up? And I do think we overthink, and then, yeah, in the moment, we just use our wisdom and we pray about it, and there's an out, there's an answer. So, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Giving it a little bit of thought ahead of time so you've got a general plan is a good idea, but don't try to get so like, because most likely the scenarios that we've come up with will never
Don't even happen.
happen. They won't.
And we
And we
wasted a lot of mental
just said,
energy.
yep, we
Yeah.
already spent all that energy being concerned about it. So yeah.
Yeah. Good.
All right, everybody. We will see you tomorrow on the 4th, and have a great night. Bye.
Bye.